Hi. Good day, we're in day 40, y'all. Like, we're making real good progress. I'm trying not to really think of all of the numbers, but we're definitely, well, it's so funny. I'm trying not to think of all the numbers when we're entering into the book of Numbers. But, we're not even I can't even say we're 1/3 of the way through this challenge or whatever, but we're making it work. God is providing for me to make this work, okay? This is day 40. We're going to hop into a new book. It's the book of Numbers. We're going to read through the chapters 1 and 4 of this book, 1 through 4, and then we'll go into Psalms 40, and then we'll call it a wrap. But yeah, I'm just like, yo, how? I'm trying to get a rhythm, of course. I definitely want to just not be strumming this beat randomly. I want to give you guys a consistent time to know when to link up with me and know when to get here. But just give me some grace, give me some patience as I work through how to make this happen when I am not in my solid environments, or how to handle this every day. And sometimes those hours of the day, they just hit different. So I will definitely work on carving out specific space for just this, so that I'm looking at thinking, the rhythm I'm looking to hit is 11 a.m. Tuesday through Sunday, and then on Monday doing maybe 11 p.m. or 8 a.m. I'm still, Monday's is the trickiest day, but there will be a lot of transitions happening on this, and you all, I thank you for your grace. I thank you for your appearance. I thank you for your presence, for your involvement. And then we're gonna keep it. We're just gonna march. We're gonna march. In faith, really. I want to get in. We have a devotional video today. It was attached to the book of Numbers, to kind of give you an overview of that. I can't necessarily read the text all over what the book of Numbers, the description said. So what we'll do, instead of getting the devotional video description today, I'll just have to skip that one. Forgive me. But we can read through. We'll just start at Numbers 1. Again, like always, the links are in the description, and you'll be able to read or watch the video and get a cool little overview intake situation. All right, jumping in. A year after Israel's departure from Egypt, the Lord spoke to Moses in the tabernacle. So yes, this is the first time he's in the tabernacle. Moses makes it in the wilderness of Sinai. On the first day of the second month of that year, he said, from the whole community of Israel. So some translations specify that this is the second year that Israel has made it out of Egypt. I'm a little perplexed as to why this wouldn't say. Yeah, I'm a little perplexed as to why the New Living Translation wouldn't give me that, but, it's okay. For the whole community. A year after Israel's departure from Egypt, the Lord spoke to Moses in the tabernacle, in the wilderness of Sinai. On the first day of the second month of that year, he said, from the whole community of Israel, record the names of the warriors by their clans and families. List all the men 20 years old or older who are able to go to war. You and Aaron must register the troops, and you will be assisted by one family leader from each tribe. These are the tribes and the names of the leaders who will assist you. So the Lord specifically sets aside these people from the 12 tribes of Israel. Reuben, from the tribe of Reuben, Elazar, son of Shadur. From the tribe of Simon, Shalalim, son of Zurishaddai. From the tribe of Judah, Nashon, son of Aminadab. Yep. Issachar. We have Nathaniel, son of Zor. In the tribe of Zebulun, we have Eliab, son of Helon. In the tribe of Ephraim, son of Joseph, we have Elishama, son of Amihud. And then from the tribe of Manasseh, son of Joseph, we get Gamayel, son of Pedazur. And then we have in Benjamin's tribe, Abidan, son of Gideon. And then from Dan's tribe, we have Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. And then from the tribe of Asher, we have Pagel, son of Ochran. And from the tribe of Gad, we have Eliasaph, son of Duel. And then from the tribe of Naphtali, we have Ahira, son of Enan. I'm butchering names, man, but it's okay. It's okay. These are the chosen leaders of the community, the leaders of their ancestral tribes, the heads of the clans of Israel. So Moses and Aaron called together these chosen leaders, and they assembled the whole community of Israel on that very day. All the people were registered according to their ancestry by their clans and families. The men of Israel who were 20 years old or older were listed one by one, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. So Moses recorded their names in the wilderness of Mount Sinai. This is the number of men 20 years old or older who are able to go to war, as their names were listed in the records of their clans and families. From the tribe of Reuben, Jacob's oldest son, we have 46,500. I want to do the math, but I won't. From the tribe of Simon, we have 59,300. From the tribe of Gad, we have 45,650. From Judah, we have 74,600. In Issachar, we have 54,400. From Zebulun, we have 57,400. From Ephraim, we have 40,500. From Manasseh, we have 32,200. From Benjamin, we have 35,400. From Dan, we have 62,700. From Asher, we have 41,500. And from Naphtali, we have 53,400. The numbers, the tribes. I think if I do quick math and I round all of this up to 50,000, it's okay. I don't need to do the math. You can see the sheer number of Israel. Like, this tribe as a whole, this community as a whole is large. And they're called forth to receive all the blessings God has to shower upon them, right? So now we're in Psalms. What happened? Now we're in verse 44 of Numbers 1, right? These are the men registered by Moses and Aaron and the 12 leaders of Israel, all listed according to their ancestral descent. They were registered by families, all the men of Israel who were 20 years old or older and able to go to war. The total number was 603,550. That's why I didn't have to do the math. It's gonna say. That's just the men, y'all. That's just the men of proper battle age, you know. This doesn't count the women. This doesn't count the children. This doesn't count the teenagers. This is just the men who are capable of fighting. But the total did not include the Levites. For the Lord said to Moses, "Do not include the tribe of Levi in the registration. Do not count them with the rest of Israel. Put the Levites in charge of the tabernacle of the covenant, along with all its furnishings and equipment. They must carry the tabernacle and all its furnishings as you travel, and they must take care of it and camp around it. Whenever it is time for the tabernacle to move, the Levites will take it down. And when it is time to stop, they will set it up again. But any unauthorized person who goes near the tabernacle must be put to death. Each tribe of Israel will camp in the designated area with its own family banner. But the Levites will camp around the tabernacle of the covenant to protect the community of Israel from the Lord's anger. The Levites are responsible to stand guard around the tabernacle." So the Israelites did everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. So again, I wonder if the Levites, separation of the Levites here, is about that blessing that they received back in the calf debacle, you know. I think that's very interesting. Plus, the Levites here are being put in charge of such a holy, sacred space, tent, you know. It is pretty much being put in charge of the dwelling of God, and then they're to camp around it to guard the Israelites from the Lord's wrath. because it was in that incident that the Levites were able to set themselves apart and help Moses appease God's anger. I can see why this is the scenario, right? So you have the tabernacle, and then the Levites camped around the tabernacle, and then every other tribe of Israel is split up by family. And I think once you enact the scenario where there are boundary lines between groups of people, so you have the whole community of Israel, and then you have the Levites who have been set apart as the guards, as the keepers of the tabernacle. That raises them a level. They've been set apart from the rest of the tribes. So then it's the Levites and then the next 11, right? And now you have each tribe of Israel being stored in their ancestral locations. So, you got Naphtali's tribe, and you got Reuben's tribe, and you got Benjamin's tribe, and all of them are separated, right? So that separation in human, it's when we start going, oh well, them Levites. Them Levites are stuck up or whatever. When we start generalizing traits per tribe, that's when more conflict starts to arise, right? Because you start seeing more reasons to separate yourself. I feel like just from a purely human standpoint, that's usually what happens. Organization for Israel's camp. Okay, so this is Numbers 2. Then the Lord gave Moses these instructions. Then the Lord gave these instructions to Moses and Aaron. Okay. When the Israelites set up camp, each tribe will be assigned its own area. The tribal divisions will camp beneath their family banners on all four sides of the tabernacle, but at some distance from it. The divisions of Judah, Issachar, Zebulun are to camp toward the sunrise on the east side of the tabernacle, beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders, and the numbers of their registered troops. Okay? Judah. From the tribe of Judah, we have Nahshon, son of Aminadab. Their tribe number 74,600. From the tribe of Issachar, we have Nathaniel, son of Zor, and their tribe numbers 54,400. And then we have Zelabum, from the tribe of Zebulun, Elab, son of Helon, and that is 57,400. So the total of troops on Judah's side of the camp is 186,400. These three tribes are to lead the way whenever the Israelites travel to new campsites. That's not by age. I wonder what traits set them apart for what. The divisions of Reuben, Simon, and Gad are to camp on the south side of the tabernacle beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders, and their number of troops as registered. Reuben, this is the tribe of Reuben. We have Eliezer, son of Shedor, with a tribe number of 46,500. From the tribe of Simon, we have Shelium, Shilamel, son of Zurishaddai, with a tribe number of 49,300. Nope, a tribe number of 59,300. And then we go further to the tribe of Gad, leader Elisaph, son of Duel, with a tribe number of 45,650. So the total of the troops on Reuben's side of the camp, which side is this? The south side. On Reuben's south side of the camp is 151,450. These three tribes will be second in line whenever the Israelites travel. Then the tabernacle, carried by the Levites, will set out Then the tabernacle, carried by the Levites, will set out from the middle of the camp. All the tribes are to travel in the same order that they camp, each in position under the appropriate banner. This is almost like it's a census, and it's the organization of this camp, but it's it's very militant in how set up camp this way. You want your core in the middle. You want, I guess, I don't know if it's based off of strength in number. I would have to go further in before I really make that full analysis. Yeah. This seems very like military strategy. Sorry, this is a little harder for me to gather where I am in this one. So we're at Numbers 2:18. The divisions of Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin are to camp on the west side of the tabernacle beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders, and the numbers of their registered troops. We have Ephraim. This is the tribe of Ephraim. The leader is Elishama, son of Amihud, with numbers in the 40,500. And then we have Manasseh, Gamaliel, son of, he's the leader, Gamaliel, son of Pedazur. Their numbers are in the 32,200. And then we have Benjamin, Abidan, the tribe of Benjamin. The leader is Abidan, son of Gideon. Their numbers are in the 35,400. So the total of all the troops on Ephraim's side of the camp is 108,100. These three tribes will be third in line whenever the Israelites travel. The division of Dan, Asher, and Naphtali are to camp on the north side of the tabernacle beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders, and their numbers of registered troops. From the tribe of Dan, we have the leader Ehezer, son of Ammishaddai, and he leads numbers in 62,700. From the tribe of Asher, we have Pagel, son of Okran. He leads a tribe of 41,500. From the tribe of Naphtali, we have Ahira, son of Enan, and he leads a tribe of 53,400. So the total of all these troops on Dan's side of the camp is 157,600. These three tribes will be last, marching under their banners whenever the Israelites travel. In summary, the troops of Israel listed in their families total 603,550. But as the Lord had commanded, the Levites were not included in this registration. So the people of Israel did everything as the Lord had commanded Moses. Each clan and family set up camp and marched under the banners exactly as the Lord had instructed them. We are in Numbers 3, and we have Levites appointed for service. This is the family line of Aaron and Moses as it was recorded when the Lord spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai. The names of Aaron's sons were Nadab, the oldest, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. The sons of Aaron were anointed and ordained to minister as priests, but Nadab and Abihu died in the Lord's presence in the wilderness of Sinai when they burned before the Lord the wrong kind of fire, different than he had commanded. Since they had no sons, this left only Eleazar and Ithamar to serve as priests with their father Aaron. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Call forward the tribe of Levi and present them to Aaron the priest to serve as his assistants. They will serve Aaron and the whole community, performing their sacred duties in and around the tabernacle. They will also maintain all the furnishings of the sacred tent, serving in the tabernacle on behalf of all Israelites. Assign the Levites to Aaron and his sons. They have been given from among all the people of Israel to serve as their assistants. Appoint Aaron and his sons to carry out the duties of the priesthood, but any unauthorized person who goes to near the sanctuary must be put to death." And the Lord said to Moses, "Look, I have chosen the Levites from among the Israelites to serve as substitutes for all the firstborn sons of the people of Israel. The Levites belong to me, for all the firstborn males are mine. On the day I struck down all the firstborn sons of the Egyptians, I set apart for myself all the firstborn in Israel, both of people and of animals. They are mine. I am the Lord. Registration of Levites. The Lord spoke again to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai. He said, "Record the names of the members of the tribe of Levi by their names, by their families and clans. List every male who is 1 month old or older." So Moses listed them, just as the Lord had commanded. Levi had 3 sons, whose names were Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. The clans descended from Gershon were named after 2 of his descendants, Libni and Shimei. The clans descended from Kohath were named after 4 of his descendants, Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzel. The clans descended from Merari were named after 2 of his descendants, Mahli and Mushi. These were the Levite clans listed according to their family groups. The descendants of Gershon were composed of the clans descended from Libni and Shimei. There were 7,500 males 1 month old or older among these Gershonite clans. They were assigned the area of the west of the tabernacle for their camp. The leader of Gershonite clans was Eliasaph, son of Lael. These 2 clans were responsible to take care for the tabernacle, including the sacred tent with its layers of coverings and the curtains at its entrance, the curtains of the courtyard that surrounded the tabernacle and the altar, the curtain at the courtyard entrance, the ropes, and all the equipment related to their use. The descendants of Kohath were composed of the clans descended from Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzel. They were 8,600 males 1 month old, or there were 8,600 males 1 month old or older among the Kohathite clans. They were responsible for the care of the sanctuary, and they were assigned the area south of the tabernacle for their camp. The leader of the Kohath clans was Elizaphan, son of Uzel. These 4 clans were responsible for the care of the ark, the table, and the lampstand, the altars, and the various articles used in the sanctuary, the inner curtain, and all the equipment related to their use. Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, was the chief administrator of all the Levites, with special responsibility for the oversight of the sanctuary. The descendants of Merari were composed of the clans descended from Mali and Mushi. There were 6,000 males 1 month old or older among the Merariite clans. They were assigned the area north of the tabernacle for their camp. The leader of the Merarite clans was Zurel, son of Ibahel. These 2 clans were responsible for the care of the frames supporting the tabernacle, the crossbars, the pillars, the base, and all the equipment related to their use. They were also responsible for the posts of their courtyard and all their bases, pegs, and ropes. The area in front of the tabernacle in the east towards the sunrise was reserved for the tents of Moses and of Aaron and his sons, who had the final responsibility for the sanctuary on behalf of the people of Israel. Anyone other than a priest or Levite who went too near the sanctuary was put to death. When Moses and Aaron counted the Levite clans as the Lord's commanded, as the clans at the Lord's command, the total number was 22,000 males, 1 month old or older. $603,000, so it's 625,000 for 550. Well, of course, they want that kept apart, so we'll keep that apart in number. Redeeming the firstborn sons. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Now count all the firstborn sons of Israel who are 1 month old or older, and make a list of their names. The Levites must be reserved for me as substitutes for the firstborn sons of Israel. I am the Lord. And the Levites' livestock must be reserved for me as a substitute for the firstborn livestock of the whole nation of Israel." So Moses counted the firstborn sons of the people of Israel, just as the Lord had commanded. The number of firstborn sons who were 1 month old or older was 22,273. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Take the Levites as substitute for the firstborn sons of the people of Israel, and take the livestock of the Levites as substitute for the firstborn livestock of the people of Israel. The Levites belong to me. I am the Lord. There are 273 firstborn sons of Israel. There are 273 more firstborn sons of Israel than there are Levites. To redeem these extra firstborn sons, collect 5 pieces of silver for each of them, each piece weighing the same as the sanctuary shekel, which includes 20 gahar. Give the silver to Aaron and his sons as the redemption price for the extra firstborn sons." So Moses collected the silver for redeeming the firstborn sons of Israel who exceeded the number of Levites. He collected 1,365 pieces of silver on behalf of these firstborn sons of Israel, each piece weighing the same as the sanctuary shekel. And Moses gave the silver for the redemption to Aaron and his sons, just as the Lord had commanded. I wonder why he allowed this trade. I wonder. It's an awfully generous trade. So the Levites then get set apart. Again, but their lives are used to cover all the firstborn sons. At least 22,000 of them. And then the extra 273 Hi. We got a little interrupted, but that's okay. We got interrupted at a good stopping point anyway. That was the end of Leviticus. That was the end of Numbers 3, and now we are in Numbers 4. So we got Numbers 4 and then Psalms 40 and we are done. So, yes, okay. Duties of the Kohathite clan. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, record the names of the members of the clans and families of the Kohathite division of the tribe of Levi. List all the men between the ages of 30 and 50 who are eligible to serve in the tabernacle. The duties of the Kohathites at the tabernacle will relate to the most sacred objects. When the camp moves, Aaron and his sons must enter the tabernacle first to take down the inner curtain and cover the Ark of the Covenant with it. Then they must cover the inner curtain with fine goatskin leather and spread over that a single piece of blue cloth. Finally, they must put the carrying poles of the ark in place. Next, they must spread a blue cloth over the table where the bread of presence is displayed, and on the cloth they will place the bowls, ladles, jars, pitchers, and special bread. They must spread a scarlet cloth over all of this, and finally a covering of fine goatskin leather on top of the scarlet cloth. Then they must insert the carrying poles into the table. Next, they must cover the lampstand with a blue cloth along with its lamps, lamp snuffers, trays, and special jars of olive oil. Then they must cover the lampstand and all its accessories with fine goatskin leather and place a bundle on a carrying frame. Next, they must spread a blue cloth over the gold incense altar and cover this cloth with fine goatskin leather. Then they must attach the carrying poles to the altar. They must take all the remaining furnishings of the sanctuary and wrap them in a blue cloth, cover them with fine goatskin leather, and place them on the carrying frame. They must remove the ashes from the altar of sacrifice. They must remove the ashes from the altar for sacrifices and cover the altar with a purple cloth. All the altar utensils, the fire pans, meat forks, shovels, basins, and all the containers must be placed on the cloth, and a covering of fine goatskin leather must be spread over them. Finally, they must put the carrying poles in place. The camp will be ready to move when Aaron and his sons have finished covering the sanctuary and all the sacred articles. The Kohathites will come and carry these things to the next destination, but they must not touch the sacred objects or they will die. So these are the things from the tabernacle that the Kohathites must carry. Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, will be responsible for the oil of the lampstand, the fragrant incense, the daily grain offering, and the anointing oil. In fact, Eleazar will be responsible for the entire tabernacle and everything in it, including the sanctuary and its furnishings. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, do not let the Kohathite clans be destroyed from among the Levites. This is what you must do so that they will live and not die when they approach the most sacred objects. Aaron and his sons must always go in with them and assign a specific duty or load to each person. The Kohathites must never enter the sanctuary to look at the sacred objects for even a moment, or they will die. That's tough, man. You're being placed in front. You're being tasked with a duty. And that duty is to make sure these objects are transported. But you cannot see the object themselves, only the silhouette of the objects after it's been wrapped in layers of cloth. And you can't touch all of that. You can touch the goat skin. Or, yeah, it's the goat skin that's the final thing. So, I can't imagine transporting an object of importance and then noticing or knowing that object is so sacred. If I were to catch a glimpse of it, I will die. If I were to see it, I will die. If I will try to look at it, I will die. Duties of the Gershonite clan. And the Lord said to Moses, record the names of the members of the clans and families of the Gershonite division of the tribe of Levi. List all the men between the ages of 30 and 50 who are eligible to serve in the tabernacle. These Gershonite clans will be responsible for general service and carrying loads. They must carry the curtains of the tabernacle itself with its coverings, the outer covering of fine goatskin leather, and the curtain for the tabernacle entrance. They are also to carry the curtains for the courtyard walls that surround the tabernacle and the altar, the curtain across the courtyard entrance, the ropes, and all the equipment related to their use. The Gershonites are responsible for all these items. Aaron and his sons will direct the Gershonites regarding all their duties, whether it involves moving the equipment or doing other work. They must assign the Gershonites responsibility for the loads they are to carry. So these are the duties assigned to the Gershonite clans at the tabernacle. They will be directly responsible to Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. Duties of the Meronite clan. Now record the names of the members of the clans and families of the Merarite clans, a Merarite division of the tribe of Levi. List all the men between ages 30 and 50 who are eligible to serve in the tabernacle. Their only duty at the tabernacle will be to carry loads. They will carry the frames of the tabernacle, the crossbars, the posts, and the bases. Also the posts for the courtyard walls with their bases, pegs, and ropes, and all the accessories and everything related to their use. Assign the various loads to each man by name. So these are the duties of the Merarite clans at the tabernacle. They are directly responsible to Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. Summary of registration. So Moses, Aaron, and the other leaders of the community listed the members of the Kohathite division by their clans and families. The list included all the men between 30 and 50 years of age who were eligible for service in the tabernacle, and the total number came to 2,750. As this was the total of all those from the Kohathite clans who were eligible to serve at the tabernacle. Moses and Aaron listed them just as the Lord had commanded through Moses. The Gershonite division was also listed by its clans and families. The list included all the men between 30 and 50 years of age who were eligible for service in the tabernacle, and the total number came to 2,630. So this was the total of all those from the Gershonite clans who were eligible to serve at the tabernacle. Moses and Aaron listed them just as the Lord had commanded. The Merarite division was also listed by the clans and families. The list included all the men between 30 and 50 years of age who were eligible for service in the tabernacle, and the total number came to 3,200. So this was the total of all those from the Merarite clans who were eligible for service. Moses and Aaron listed them just as the Lord had commanded through Moses. So Moses, Aaron, and the leaders of Israel listed all the Levites by their clans and families. All the men between 30 and 50 of age who were eligible for service in the tabernacle and for its transportation numbered 8,580. When their names were recorded as the Lord had commanded through Moses, each man was assigned his task and told what to carry. And so the registration was completed, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. That is a fair amount of work. Come on, like y'all do taxes. Y'all participated in census. Yeah. Doing all of that paperwork from start to finish, doing all of the labeling, doing all of the you carry this part, you carry that part, and knowing, charting it all out, doing all of that behind the scenes work, finding everyone, learning all the penning all the names, doing all of that. This is the establishment, or really sort of the establishment of a kingdom in itself, right? Like the Israelites here are a kingdom. They are a kingdom of God at this moment. Right now, they've got God as their ultimate king. You can consider Moses the prime minister, and then it goes down and you have the trickle down effect of all of the leadership, right? And that's all unfolding. They're learning military type procedure of how to set up camp and how to move as they migrate through the lands. It doesn't yet say why each division was separated as it was. The 12 tribes broken down by 3, each given a direction in which that they can set up camp. The Levites in the middle, and then the most precious, God, in the center. At least the dwelling place for God in the center. All of the parts, all of the bases, all of the things made of bronze and gold and silver, all of the fabric, the equipment, that is hefty. That's a hefty tent. This is a hefty place. And to take it up, take it down, take it up, take it down, move it. To carry the ark, to carry all of that, it takes 8,580 people. That way, no one person, no one tribe, no 100 people, or whatever, can truly feel the weight of the load of the tabernacle, because everyone has a piece to play, a piece to carry, and a part to play. Yeah, that is I want to be able to imagine this kingdom flourishing under the commands of God through Moses and all that. I want to be able to imagine what would have happened minus the Israelites' rebellion, right? So I know that's coming. At some point, this trip goes south. But I'm just in awe of the level of intricacy and commands God's sending to his people through Moses so that they can learn of all of these things. But that also throws me, right? Because now you have this one person who's receiving the command of the Lord, and he's telling people and he's letting them know, do this, and they're following the instruction. But in the back of their head, I want to know if they're thinking, oh, that Moses man, he's making us do a lot. Come on, Moses. I wonder if in the back of their head, they're truly doubting that there is a Lord that Moses is getting these commands from. Or, Moses, are these your commands? Are you covering Moses? Come on. I wonder if there's a little bit of that seeded doubt running through them, is it sprinkled in there amongst the Israelites? What is it that stems in these people that will cause them, or that leads their continual rebellion against the Lord? But yeah, that's a journey for another day when we continue to read more of Numbers and find out more of what's going on in this book, for now, how many chapters? 36. Okay. For now we have to jump to Psalms 40. Let's see. There we go. For the choir director, a Psalm of David. I waited patiently for the Lord to help me, and he turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the pit of despair, out of the mud and the mire. He set my feet on solid ground and steadied me as I walked along. He has given me a new song to sing, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see what he has done and be amazed. They will put their trust in the Lord. Oh, the joys of those who trust the Lord, who have no confidence in the proud or in those who worship idols. O Lord, my God, you have performed many wonders for us. Your plans for us are too numerous to list. You have no equal. If I try to recite all your wonderful deeds, I will never come to the end of them. Isn't that a core for gratitude? If I try to recite all your wonderful deeds, I'm not going to come to the end of that list. That's when you're in it and you need some gratitude and you're just reciting what you've seen that is good, and it just keeps coming and it just keeps flowing out of you from your mouth because it's flowing out of your spirit, and you're like, wow, if I try to recite how wonderful you've been to me, how great your deeds are, and I really, really go, and I really, really let just focus on you, I can't stop reciting that list of deeds. Oh, that's You take no delight in sacrifices or offerings. Now that you have made me listen, I finally understand. You don't require burnt offerings or sin offerings. Then I said, look, I have come, as written about me in the scriptures. I take joy in doing your will, my God, for your instructions are written on my heart. I have told all your people about your justice. I have not been afraid to speak out, as you, O Lord, will know. I have not kept the good news of your justice hidden in my heart. I have talked about your faithfulness and saving power. I have told everyone in the great assembly of your unfailing love and faithfulness. Lord, don't hold back your tender mercies from me. Let your unfailing love and faithfulness always protect me. For troubles surround me, too many to count. My sins pile up so high, I can't see my way out. They outnumber the hairs on my head. I have lost all courage. Please, Lord, rescue me. Come quickly, Lord, and help me. May those who try to destroy me be humiliated and put to shame. May those who take delight in my trouble be turned back in disgrace. Let them be horrified by their shame. For they said, aha, we got him now. But may all those who search for you be filled with joy and gladness in you. May those who love your salvation repeatedly shout, the Lord is great. As for me, since I am poor and needy, let the Lord keep me in his thoughts. You are my helper and my savior. Oh my God, do not delay. 46, the Greek version reads, you have given me a body. 46, 40. Okay, 46 was the one where it's like, you take no delight in sacrifices or offerings. Now you have made me listen. I finally understand you do not require burnt offerings or sin offerings. There was a video of about Leviticus and its overall arch, and how Leviticus did cover a lot of sacrifice, blah 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 blah. This is how you do it. This is how it's carried out. This is what you need. This is who you go to. This is what you need to take care of all of that. And it highlighted something to me, that sacrifice was for the people to feel that they've been made right with the Lord. It's for the people committing the sacrifice, not necessarily that God requires it. Because if God required sacrifice, we would still be sacrificing to this day as Christians. That would be a requirement. If he truly needed or delighted in those offerings and sacrifices and offerings, if those are truly what he was calling for, he would have done it from the beginning. From the Garden of Eden, he would have had Adam and Eve sacrificing to him. But that's not what was required from them. The only thing that was required from them was the one restriction, not to eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. There were no other, hey, sacrifice to me. I find it pleasing. There was none of that. Live here as the caretakers of this land, as overseers of this world I've created for you. Live here and watch over everything. And don't eat from that tree right there. Oh, and be fruitful and multiply. I think he says that. There's no call for sacrifice. There's no call for offering. Because it's not required to be made right. It's not required to be made right. But because there was such a disconnect, right? So now there's a disconnect from the garden. It's because of that disconnect that we feel like we have to go above and beyond to be able to reach God, to be able to reach up to heaven. But then even in all that, he removed the need. He removed the ritual of sacrifice and offerings. And he replaced it with the blood of his son. And he tells us you don't need to do it because it's done. The work is done. Now you need to live every day as if you are making your offerings to him. You need to meditate on his word. You need to count all your joys. You need to place his instructions on your heart. Yeah. Lord, you're good to me, and I know you're good to me. And I operate as if you're just waiting to be good to me. I know that. I operate like that on a daily. Like, I'm like, the Lord's just waiting for a moment to be good to me. What? And that's not, I'm stressed, y'all. Okay, I get anxious, y'all. Like, don't play. But in all of that, I know your plans for me. You know your plans for me. You know my name. You know your plans for me. Plans to prosper me and not harm me. And I truly cling to that from time to time. I cling to it like a child clutching a safety security blanket, you know? Like, I cling to it because that's what helps me stand. That's what helps me make the moves that I make in faith that I don't know how I'm getting this done. I don't. I go through it a lot and I'm like, no, I don't. But I do know that the Lord is just waiting. He's waiting for a chance to prove his goodness to us. That's to show you again, like, yo, I'm good. I'm the Lord. Like, he's waiting for it. So just have that security in you. Like, the Lord's out there trying to show you good. He's trying to provide for you. That's who he is. It's his character. Oh, in the rough patches, in the waiting, when you have to survive the waiting to get God's goodness, you know, when you have to survive all of that, because he will have you waiting up until the last minute, okay? The last minute. So you know, like, hey, you got to work through all the barriers of, hey, I did this myself. So you know that it was the Lord who did the work. And so you know who you count your blessings to. And you know who you're giving your things to, not your own self. But, like, ask him in the waiting. Like, I ask him. In the waiting, I'm like, what is it that you want me to learn about myself as I wait for you to work? What is it that I need to work through in this moment to be stronger in character, in your character? And I get the answers. I don't like the answers sometimes, but I get them. And I follow through on them. And focusing on that more than I'm waiting, more than, you know, oh my God, when's it gonna happen? Focusing on that helps me survive the wait. You're people of the Lord, y'all fighting through y'all's days, through y'all's battles, and I pray that you're able to withstand the wait, because once you withstand the wait, oh my God, the blessings on blessings, that just the abundance that pours into you once you survive the wait, once your faith is solid enough to get you through that moment of fear, of hesitation that it won't happen, once you can let go of it not happening and know it's coming. In that moment, oof, the blessings. You have so much more to focus on in the altering of your character, in growing in God's presence. You have so much more to focus on. Don't focus on when is it coming, okay? It's coming. It's coming. That's near guarantee when it's in line with God's will, when it's through God's blessings. You know, that's a near guarantee that it's coming. But, like, whoo, focus on what you can take from the wait. Focus what you can use to grow from the wait. Focus on how you can bloom in the wait, because once the wait's done, it's sunshine, baby. It's sunshine, and all you gotta do is sit there and glow. Glow in your beauty and glow in your faith. And it's just, the work is done. The work is done. Like, really, really, the work is done. Have a good coming days. I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.